Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Are we live?
I'm going to hang up the phone thing.
Oh yeah. Sorry everyone. Okay. Amazing. Hi Janie.
Hi, Yael.
It's so good to be here with you. How do we know if someone's live with us?
I can check in the chat.
If anyone is there, can you let us know? Can you say, hi, I'm here? I can hear you. Let's wait a few minutes for people to join.
Yep. And I'm going to do...
If you're there, just bear with us. This is the first time we're doing this. Figure it out, but you can click something into the box. Where would they see their chat box?
It would be...
Where can we see the chat box? Let me see.
It's on the right-hand side.
Ah, here it is. Hi. So, okay, we can just start, and then if anybody's, if anyone joins, then you know, we'll see them when they join in, I guess.
Yep.
Brilliant.
And just in case,
Yeah.
I'm resending out the link one last time to the list.
Amazing.
Okay, that's done.
Right. So when they click on the link, then they should come straight here.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Okay. Should we wait a few minutes? Let me ask Haley if she's on. Technical difficulties. Hi, are you on? I hope, guys, if you're there and you can see us, then sorry about this, but we can't see that you're there. So we need, you know, a sign of life, like a message in the chat box, or I can see the chat box. I just put hi.
Yeah.
And where do we normally see if someone's there?
It would be pretty much, oh, it shows down here on my thing. It says 2 viewers. So we're the only ones on so far.
Oh.
Oh, 3 viewers. Somebody else just popped on.
Hello, who's there? Can you please put a comment in so we know? Oh, it just came on, Haley says. Okay,
yep. 4 viewers.
Come in? 4?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hello everyone. We were having some slight technical difficulties, you know, with all this new technology, but it's great to be with you today. Can you see on the right-hand side of the screen? You can put a chat, you can comment, and if you can you put a comment and say hi, your name, and then that you can hear us properly and you can see us properly? Let's wait. So we can see, can anybody see the chat? Let's put another comment here again, and then it might pop up for you guys. It's on the right, to the right-hand side of your screen. Is it someone else? Did someone else join?
Yep, we have number 5 keeps popping on and off.
Oh, amazing. Wow. So guys, I'm guessing that you're not seeing the group chat. Let me ask, Haley, can you text me and tell me if you can see the group chat on the right-hand side of the screen? We'll just make sure that everyone can hear us and see us, and then we'll dive straight in. Let me see. I'm on text with my colleague. I wonder if there's another place where we're supposed to see the chat. Let me see if I come out. Right. All right, sorry guys. So on the left-hand side of your screen, there's a kind of like a speech bubble, a square blue speech bubble. If you click on that, then you should be able to see on your right the group chat, and you should be able to put hi or a comment or your name or whatever at the bottom. Okay, Haley says she can see us at the bottom, I think.
And there are some people on their phones watching this, so they might not be able to chat.
Ah, okay, guys, if you're watching from your phone, oh, there's a slight delay as well. So can hear and see you, right? So, oh, so people have been putting out comments, but we can't see them for some reason. Where should they be? Because this is the group chat, isn't it? Well, as long as you guys can hear us and see us, maybe I'll just start talking and then Janie will try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe Haley, you can ask Google for us, and we will just get going because we don't want to, waste your time. So, thank you everyone for joining today. It's really great to be here with you. And I met Janie online through a group that we're members of, and we've been in touch ever since, and it's been really great to get to know her better. And then we started talking about my new event, which is $1 Million Woman, which we will mention at the end. And Janie is now an affiliate, and we thought, let's do something fun together and give some value to people. And something that's comes up for a lot of my clients, I'm a business coach, something that comes up for a lot of my clients is overwhelm and burnout, and it's very common, especially among moms, but generally among women. We are so good at filling up every single gap in our life, and reaching, not really looking after ourselves and reaching a point where we're just burnt out and then we can't do anything for quite a long time. And that's why it's really important to avoid burnout also, so for your well-being, but also so that you can keep on your wonderful work in the world and keep going. So my personal story is that when I first started this current business that I own, I had 3 children. I was pregnant with the 4th, and then I had four children, and I was working all hours. I was working, between changing nappies and between giving them lunch. I would be giving, one of my children would be on a high chair, and I would give him 1 spoon in his mouth and run quickly and finish an email, literally like that. And also I used to be on the phone with company owners while I'm changing nappies, and they had no idea. And I would start even before I brush my teeth and just go straight into my working day. And then when I put the children to bed, I would work more at nighttime. And I started to feel really, really dizzy. But not dizziness like I'm going to faint, but just as if I'm on a boat. And it was a really scary sensation, and sometimes it was really strong. And like all humans, when something feels a little bit wrong, you the first thing you think is that you're going to die. That's what I thought. Everyone think that. But anyway, so because I was breastfeeding and pregnant all these years, typically when I went to doctors, they always blame the hormones, and they don't really investigate it too much. So I kind of felt like they were brushing me off, and I just kept coping with it until I had some incidents that were more scary, and I went to A&E, and then I went to the out of hours doctor, and eventually one doctor said, "How long have you been having this?" And I said 2 years, and he wrote something to my doctor, and they finally referred me to a specialist. So there is something that's called the dizziness clinic. And it actually felt really good to be in a place where they don't think I'm crazy, and they understand how crippling this is and how terrible, the feeling. And by the time I actually got there, I was also suffering from panic attacks, which was related to what I was suffering from, which I'll tell you in a minute. But it was also, to do with when you feel something's happening in your body and you don't know what's going on, you start to panic. So I go to the clinic, and it turns out that it was to do with my balance system because of stress. That, our balance system is in our ears, and when you're like all hunched up, the blood doesn't flow properly. So all I got, he gave me an MRI for my brain, because he said the first thing is to find out that there isn't something. He said, I don't think there's something wrong with you, but it's really important for patients to know that there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
And then he gave me some neck exercises, which is literally just going like that and things like that. And I got better, but then it really struck me when I saw the letter that he wrote to my doctor, back to my doctor, and he basically said, listen, this woman's stressed. She has 4 kids. She's running a business, and that's what I read between the lines, and it was quite a revelation for me. And I thought, wow, because I was just kind of going on autopilot and not really thinking about myself, and especially when my children were little. It's all like mommy, 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 and me. From it's still like that. It's a bit more like that when they're very little, isn't it? So yes. I wasn't really thinking about myself at all. And Janie will touch later about choosing for you. So then I, obviously I don't want to. Can you still see me, by the way?
Yes, I can.
Oh, great, because I'm going to my list. So I don't want to ever feel like that again. And that's why I have my kind of step-by-step system that I use, or that you can use, to avoid burning out. Because I really feel strongly that, as women, and also, I was thinking, what is a $1 million woman really? Because, my new event is called $1 Million Woman. And what is it about? It's not necessarily about being a millionaire, although that's lovely. But it's about, being this whole person which has wealth, and not only financially, but someone who loves what they do, and has health and time for themselves. And because also when we are so busy, in a way, life kind of flies by.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we wake up one day and it's like, wow, where did these years go? And I'm now in my, I hit my 40s this year, and I don't really want to get to my 80s thinking, what did I do the last 40 years? So,
yeah,
so there's that element of, pacing myself and enjoying every moment in my life. And remembering every moment, especially for someone who has kids, because, they grow up and that's it. Yeah. So, okay, so what I do to avoid burnout. So the first thing for me is, and for anybody else, and guys, I hope that we can figure out the chat thing, because I'd love to hear from you at the end, and hear some questions and answer some of your questions. So I really hope that we can figure it out. I don't know if Haley, if you're there, if you can text me and maybe Google it and find out how we can.
It said it was disabled, and I'm not sure how to turn it on, because I click on it and nothing.
So maybe
happens.
We can ask Haley to find out how we can enable the comments from other people.
Yeah, because we can see there's the group chat is on.
So while I'm talking, maybe you can email Haley the link to join us. So she can help us as well. So the first thing, guys, is to know your signs. And, each of us has something, right? It could be a headache that always comes back. And, for me, at some point, it was a really not upset tummy, but I used to get real pain in my stomach, like a knife in my belly. And there was nothing wrong with me, like I didn't have diarrhea or anything like that, but just real pain from stress and from anxiety. It could be a burst of eczema, or, so mine is dizziness. And when I start to, because we all do it, right? It's not to say that now I always avoid burnout and that's it and I'm free from it. It's very easy, especially when you're working on some project at work or at home, and you get into the groove of things, you kind of forget about everything else. You stop looking after yourself. So, things still pop up. So for me, my dizziness will start again. So, know your signs and pay attention for when they appear, because they're there to tell you something. Your body is telling you something. And that leads me to the second point, which is listen to your body. So, our bodies are super smart machines and they speak to us loud and clear. I really encourage you to love your body and respect it enough to listen to it when it's crying out. So if you know that, headaches is your sign, then, listen to it. And also, I want to encourage you that if you do have something that always pops up for you. So for example, for me, it was so great to go to this dizziness clinic, because now when this comes up, not only that I do these other signs, but these other steps, but I also know to do my next exercises, and that helps as well. So it's really good to know, if there's anything that you can do physically as well. So number 3 is take a break. So now that you recognize the signs and you decided to listen to your body, pause, and on the next available opportunity, take a break from your routine, from the office, from the laptop, from your phone. Just take a break. You will need some time for the next step. And by the way, unless you're on a crazy deadline or in the middle of a launch, your business will be okay without you. Trust me. Okay? 1 day, 2 days, whatever you need. Even typically, sometimes you can take a week or a month off if you really set your mind to it. So, I know some of you might be thinking now, no way, I can never leave my business. I have to always be switched on. It will still be there when you come back. Okay? You might have to start a bit, start it up again, but it will be there, and your body is so much more important than the business. I want you to know that. So take a break, just take time, and when you take the break, what you're going to do, you're going to rethink everything. So you rethink the amount of hours that you spend working. Is it reasonable amount? Are you sleeping enough? And sleeping enough for women is typically 8 to 9 hours, because women need more sleep than men. It's been proven again and again. So you always want a lane. So rethink your work environment. Could you do with a better chair or a bigger screen laptop? Do you take regular breaks from your laptop? Do you eat breakfast and lunch? Because lunch is a big thing. You always hear, oh, Haley's looking into it. Thanks, Haley. That's great. A lot of entrepreneurs I know, they're kind of like, oh, I forgot to eat lunch. And I love my food. I never forget to eat, but there are times when I'm so concentrating what I'm doing. I'm thinking, oh, I'll eat later. And it happens to Haley, I know, because we work closely. And then it's 3 or 4 o'clock and you haven't eaten lunch. And not by that time, you've got a headache and you're starting to feel a bit funny. So don't do that.
Yeah.
It's all to do with the blood sugar levels, as my homeopath say. And also, when you eat, is it a healthy and nourishing food? So what do you put into your body? And now this is a big one, because obviously if you need to kind of rethink this whole thing, that's a big one, and it could take some adjustments. And I would love to share that I use quite a few shortcuts. So a few months ago, I started buying those ready-made salads. Not ready-made salads, but yeah, they're like leaves that have been washed already. So I give them just a quick rinse, and then I can put some nuts and a bit of cheese on top, and add cherry tomatoes. So also I have, for example, frozen chopped onions in my freezer that and frozen veg, and beans, because when I make a soup with beans, I love to boil them from scratch, but I do cheat sometimes and I use them from the can, and then I can whiz things really quickly that are still healthy and are still fresh. So, you know, there are ways around it. So, and also, you know, are you working more than 8 to 9 hours on a regular basis? Because that's, you know, that's going to affect you in the long run. You might feel like you're fine, but it's not. It's not really productive at the end of the day. You can work much better when you're fresh, and that's it really. So you're taking a break, and then you're rethinking everything, and then, you know, things will come to you, and you'll say, oh wow, you know, all this last week I was, you know, I wasn't eating properly, and, you know, my that's what's happened to me last week. So I wasn't eating properly, and, you know, I kept getting headaches, and then my baby was sick, so she wasn't sleeping good. So, you know, then when you, if you just carry on in this rat race, you're just gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. And what happens when we don't look after ourselves, and when we don't listen to these little tiny symptoms, then bigger things come. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it's just important to just stop, pause, think about it, and, you know, plan how you're going to implement, you know, the changes that, you know, need to occur. And number 5 is just to look after number 1. Just remember that life is short. You only get one chance at it. Respect yourself and your work enough to look after yourself. Because, you know, we need your wonderful work, and you know, we need you to keep doing it for many years, and your family needs you, and, you know, you will enjoy life better if you are not burnt out. So those are my, oh, I can see now, Haley. Oh, Haley's trying to sort out the chat, guys. So sorry if you type in anything and we can't see it. I do apologize. And I mean, I would love to take questions, but we can take questions at the end when we figure out this group chat thing. So now, you know, I don't know, Janie, if you have any questions about it before we move on to your bit that is all to do with choosing for you.
I love how our stuff is like really similar. Yeah, one of my 3 things is getting clarity. And getting clarity on what it is that you would like to do in the first place will help you to choose for you. And what I found is that when you're really super clear on what it is that you would like to create, what it is that you would like your business as, working for 8 or 9 hours at a time seems to go by really fast because your work is super fun. And where I found myself getting really burned out and overwhelmed was when I was doing things I really didn't enjoy. Yeah, so my suggestion would be to, you know, get really clear on what it is that you would like to create, and ask questions of yourself. You know, what is it that I like to do that I would do for free all day long? And those things are usually the things that will make you the most money and that will grow your business. And then if you're open to having awareness, like in your intuition or your gut feeling, when you ask questions, things pop up. Like last year I got invited to write in several books, and I did. And then I discovered that, wow, you know, writing is one of my absolute favorite things to do. And when I'm working in inspired action, I can sit down and write almost a whole book in one day.
Wow.
Yeah. And the taking the breaks, like you said, is super important as well, because when we're in inspired action, we're not, you know, we're doing what we're doing and we're really focused on it, and we don't think about, wow, you know, my feet are falling asleep, maybe I should get up and move for a minute. Or
Mm.
I haven't had any water in like 2 hours. Maybe I should get up and stretch and have a glass of water and yeah, and to keep yourself rejuvenated as you're going along. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I even have a timer that I set actually sometimes every 20 minutes to just get
That's
up.
a really great idea. Yeah. All of the phones now have timers on them. So if you don't have like a ticky timer that dings, you can set the
Yeah,
alarm on your phone.
that's true. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, and one of my other number two would be judgment. Um, what they have discovered is that like judgment and gratitude cannot exist in the same space.
Wow.
So yeah, so when you're functioning from judgment, that's a really heavy, dense, like energetic vibration, and it will weigh you down. It will affect your creative abilities and capacities. It will affect your body, your health. Um, they're saying now that every disease or dis-ease in your body starts with a thought, feeling, or an emotion, and that's what judgment is.
How does judgment look like for people who are not sure what that means?
Okay, so there's lots of examples. So like when you get up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror, what are your first thoughts? Are they like, "Hi, we're here again today. I'm so excited to see you in the mirror. That's me." Yeah, generally that's not us.
I went to
Generally
the
we're like,
yeah.
"Oh my gosh, I got these and I needed this and this is bulging," and so that all is judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, when you were
So
talking about it was also like, when you're judgmental of other people, is that related?
yes, yes. Because generally, when you're judging other people, it's an aspect of yourself that you're judging about them.
Hmm. Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes, makes sense. Like a mirror effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah. So when you're living in that space of constantly going to judgment and going to judgment, or did I do this right, or did I do it wrong, or am I correct on this? Am I choosing the right choices? All of that are forms, those are all forms of judgment.
Hmm.
So instead, if you could switch your mindset, and when you find yourself going to the automatic space of judgment, um, stop yourself and go, okay, so what is the gift in this? And what could I be grateful for now in this 10 seconds?
Hmm.
So maybe when you get up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror, you go, wow, I am really grateful that I have all the hair on my head still. Like, if you can't think of something, then pop out something, and it'll just keep
Yeah,
flowing from there.
that's amazing. So you're saying that if we, um, you know, practice more gratitude, then there's less chance of us being in judgment.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Judgment.
That's really good to
Yeah,
know. Yeah, amazing.
yeah. So getting clear and switching from judgment to gratitude, well, actually, those are like the first two steps in choosing for you. Because when you're asking questions on what is true for you, and when you're in more gratitude, you're in connection with your internal awareness, with your gut feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where you will find what is true for you, and how to choose for you. There's a lot of mimicry patterns that we pick up, like from our parents, or when we're in a relationship for a really long time, we tend to buy our partner's points of views and ideas as real and true and as ours.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of times what happens, and like with when you have kids too, you kind of get lost in what is it that I as a mother actually like? What is it that I like to do? So one of my favorite questions is, if I were choosing for me, what would I choose?
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's not like, an exclusion of everything and everyone. It's coming from the space of including and what would I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, so just remembering yourself again, and consciously choosing to ask yourself, what would you do, rather than thinking about what everybody else wants you to do, what's better for everyone else. But
yeah. Well, and we have an echo.
I can't hear it.
You can't?
No.
Cool. It's gone.
So what is the third step?
The third step would be the question. Let me get my headphones really quick because it's still echoing.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on.
I'll just hold the fort while Janie is going to get her headphones, and I hope that you are still here and still watching. I am so sorry for not being able to see your questions or your comments in the chat, but if you're someone that's been in touch with me today or before that, or you can send me a direct message, or if you're someone that knows Janie and you can send her a message on Facebook, then or put a question underneath one of the posts that you signed up through. So either email Janie or comment on the post or send me a direct message with a question, then we'll be more than happy to answer.
Yeah, and we're I still have an echo. It's all good.
Turn it down a bit on your computer.
Is that better?
I don't hear the echo. I didn't hear it before. No.
Cool. Yeah, and both of us are on Facebook. And you can message us there as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just saying, because we can't see the chat for now, so just either email you or pop it on one of the Facebook posts that maybe they came through, or send us a direct message and we can answer any questions.
Yes, absolutely. And we are so sorry about that. I think I may have oops when I set up the Hangout. There might be a setting when you first start it that enables the Q&A.
Oh yeah, Haley's just saying that the Q&A app will only appear if the host turns it on before the broadcast begins. Sorry everyone.
Yeah.
We can come out and come back in again, but I don't know.
Would we have to send them a new link?
I don't know. Let's just carry on as it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so when you put your clarity in place and you kind of what's clear for you, what you would like to create, and then you switch from judgment to gratitude, then the third piece is asking the questions and choosing for you and finding out what that is. When I first started with choosing for me, I really didn't know. Like when I asked that question, if I were choosing for me, what would I choose? I didn't know. So I started with silly things like, well, do I like scrambled eggs? Do I like poached eggs? Do I like boiled eggs? So I just started playing with different things like that. Like well, today I'll try scrambled eggs, and tomorrow I'll try something different. And can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Interesting. It sounds like we're underwater.
But we can hear you fine.
Cool. Okay. I just love all of this technical stuff,
I
and
was
we
into
will.
your story, and then you coming out. I was really into it. So boiled egg, scrambled egg. Okay.
Yes.
That's good. So not starting with the big life questions, but starting with did you have any huge transformation come out of these little ones when did you start with the little things and then it went to the big things?
Yes, absolutely. Because it was a lot of taking little baby steps and being okay with making, little choices. And then when you actually get to the space to make a big choice, it doesn't seem like such a daunting, overwhelming thing. It's like you're able to follow the energy of what's true for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for me, I guess it also started with little things. And when I used to do the tiniest, there is an echo on Janie. Okay, so when I started to do the tiniest of things for myself, I used to feel really guilty. And then I still get that sometimes, and then I'm like, why are you feeling guilty for? Because at the end of the day, if we're normally the heart of the home, and then if we fall apart, then so
everything falls apart.
Yeah, so looking after us is after number one is really looking after everyone. It's like, when you go on an airplane and Haley says it's all good now. When you go on an airplane and you've got those masks for air, they always explain that if something happens, then you first fix your mask on and then you fix your child or whatever. So I guess in the same sense is that, but how do you get over that guilt when you first starting to do things that are different? And
well, guilt is like a learned behavior.
right.
We weren't born with guilt. We didn't come in as babies and be like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have come in. No, we're like, woo, we're here. Whatever we do when we're bored, welcome me to the world. There's no guilt there. And if you look at babies are like, it's all about them. And there's no wrongness there because that's, just the way it is. And what happens as mom, because moms are like the glues that hold the family together. And, we keep things in flow, we keep things in motion, we keep things in line. And what happens when we're out of alignment, or if we're burnout or overwhelmed or whatever, that reflects in our children. What I've noticed with mine, I have two little guys that are 6 and 7. And when I'm like, so are they. And it shows up in them like exponentialized 100 times as what I'm feeling.
Wow.
So when I'm choosing for me and in alignment with what I'm doing and my actions, it shifts and changes them as well. There's less fighting, there's less arguments. They play, like they find things to do creatively, like Legos or building blocks or something. They riding their bikes. They require less attention because they're not trying to figure out what the heck is going on with mom. Mom feels like
And
So
how does that, with someone who doesn't have children, if there's anybody here on the call that doesn't have children, how does that work with partners? And
I find it, kind of the same either way. So say like you have a job and you go to work. When you're in alignment with what you're choosing and your choices and your actions, it shifts and changes the energy of those around you as well. Our first language apparently was, I guess there wasn't a language, it was all telepathic.
right.
And yeah, and so, we think that has gone away because we speak a lot of words. And it has in a sense, but people are a lot more aware than they give themselves credit for and that we're aware of. So it's not just your kids that pick up on your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It's also the people that you are in contact with every day.
Yeah.
And something fun I like to do is just play with it. And fun things happen. Like, I get up in the morning and I'm like, okay, you know what? Today I'm choosing to live lit up. I'm choosing to be an inspired action. I am choosing to create phenomenal something somewhere, whatever that looks like. And then it's like, okay, well, I have to go, to the grocery store or something, and people will open doors for you. They will let you step in front of them in line at the cash register, and things open up when you're in alignment, and it shifts everything around you.
Yeah, it's very true. But do you find sometimes, for example, with partners, it's sometimes difficult for them to adjust to your new self?
Yes.
Have you got anything to say about that? That's
well, the thing that I would say, like my suggestion is, and not just like with a partner, but like with friendships as well. If you're choosing friendships based on obligation, I have to remain friends with this person because I've been friends with them since we were 2. Or, I made a choice to marry somebody like 25 years ago, and I should stay there because I have to, because I made a choice 25 years ago. Or, say you have a relationship with a job because you go there every day, and it's not something you really like. Just because you made a choice doesn't mean that you have to stay there. And what I have found is that there are friends that have unfriended me. And there are relationships that just aren't there anymore. And part of it is when you're not enabling somebody or a relationship to stay in the trauma and drama aspect of life, they will either step up to the energy that you are at, or they will go away. And if they go away, then that's not something that you wanted to keep anyways. Does that make sense?
So much sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing because, we all know like those friends that we just don't feel good around. But, I guess until we decide to choose for us, then we kind of roll with it and we think, yeah, we've known them since childhood, but we know that feeling that we get when we're with them. And we know, we all have friends that or colleagues that we talk to, and afterwards we feel really drained.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh.
Because I did that again. Why?
Maybe they're very negative, or they're suckers of energy instead of givers of energy, and you just find yourself like, give, and then so I I know people that recently let go of friends and they feel lighter, but it is a very difficult thing to do, and especially, say, for example, with partners and etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. But do you think in the long run it would make someone happier?
I think so. My interesting point of view is that keeping things in a situation that doesn't work is only going to create more upset in the long run, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like brushing something under the rug. When you brush things under the rug, they don't really go away. They just become like a mountain of something else.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really great. I hope that this is of value to everyone that's listening. It's certainly of value to me.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add or ask me?
Should we talk about the $1 million event?
Okay. Yeah, I mentioned in the beginning that we've met online through a Facebook group that we're members of, and I am a business coach, but I'm also an event organizer in London. And I've been doing chocolate festivals for many, many years in many cities and other food events, and I love doing it, and it's been really amazing for me. But at the end of 2013, I kind of looked at everything and thought, this is not working, and I'm not getting really the financial reward that I think I should be getting from the amount of hours that I'm putting in, and the sacrifices I'm making in my personal life to make these events happen. And I'm always on some sort of deadline, and I can't talk to my kids now because I'm on a deadline, and I have to work all hours because I'm on a deadline. And I used to work on family holidays. I used to work I worked in labor. I was texting my assistant even 2 hours before my baby was born. I mean, I had a really long labor and I was really bored. And she was new and she needed me, and then I said to her after the baby was born, if you need anything, just text me. And I didn't mean like 2 days after, but she needed me, and again we had a deadline, so I just baby, and I've got nothing better to do because the baby's just sleeping and I'm like breastfeeding, so I might as well just text. So anyway, I didn't want to leave her in that place, and so all of that I wasn't really happy because when I started my business, my passion was to inspire and empower women. And I was hoping that by doing the chocolate festival, women will look at me and they would be inspired. And also, in my time, I had a lot of staff members that I nurtured. And yes, once in a while, someone would say, wow, you're so inspiring, and da, da, da. But I guess in a way, I wasn't really following my purpose. And when I realized all of this, I decided to put together an event called $1 Million Woman. And it is to do with, everything I described before. So how do we become, a wealthy woman, not just with money. However, my speakers that I invited are, 4 of them have built $1 million businesses. And what I love about them is that they're all very much in the same frame of mind. So they're not killing themselves to create that. And they're really, really into creating big impact in the world and helping others. So, The Science of Getting Rich, the book talks about the creative plane and the competitive plane. And, those who get their money in the competitive plane, it's like they climb on a ladder and then they get rid of the ladder so nobody else can climb. And when you create wealth in the creative plane, you want to help others climb the same way. So all these ladies that I've invited to speak are very special to me. They're all ladies that I got to know them in different ways, but they're all I've been following them and watching them online. And, I was telling my mom the other day that it's like, I don't understand how this happened. I don't understand how they all said yes to come and speak at my event, and they're all free on the date. And it's just like, things just work out when you're following, well, I guess when you're choosing for you and you're following your purpose. And, so I'm really excited about it. And then Janie decided to come and be an affiliate, which is fantastic. And so it's on the 11th of June. And, they will speak about, there will be a lecture from Dr. Jane Cox about the psychology of wealth. So how to, treat money and think about money to make more and keep more of it. And then Hilary Rushford from Dean Street Society will speak about, she is someone who is really big on Instagram, and she made her millions teaching people mostly how to style themselves, but also how to double their Instagram following. And now she teaches Elegant Excellence, which is all to do with, that's a new program, which is all to do with having more joy and less overwhelm in your business. So that's very much aligned with our ethos.
Yeah.
Dr. Jane Cox that I mentioned before, I heard about her through someone who told me, I told him about my event that I want to put together. I'm looking for female speakers. And he said, she's the best speaker I've ever seen in my life. And he actually bought a ticket the other day. And I did warn him that he's going to be surrounded by a lot of women, but I don't think he minds. He's super having him around. And then Ingrid van der Veld is a powerhouse. She was a former Dell's entrepreneur in residence. And she has a movement called Empower a Billion Women. And I watched her TED Talk. Haley sent it to me, and she said, you've got to watch this. And it was called The Art of Making the Impossible Possible. And I just fell in love with her. She's brilliant. I've been following her, and she's such a beautiful woman. And she's going to talk about how to turn your biggest desires into your desires into your biggest money makers. So she has a step-by-step formula and action steps that you can take afterwards. And then Nicole Walters, some people know her as Natural Nicole. She was a blogger, but she was in corporate America earning six-figure salary for 10 years. And then she quit her 9-to-5 job live on Periscope in front of 10,000 people. She's like the most funny person you can watch on Periscope. I just love her broadcast. She, she will broadcast with her nightcap on in her pajamas, and she just, completely real, and she helps people monetize their life. So how to have, create more actions, because, a lot of us, faff around with perfecting your website and this and that, and you're not really concentrating on enough money-making activities. So
yeah. Are you there? There you are. Yael. It looks like we lost Yael, and maybe she will jump back on here. We will wait just a second for that. Okay, she is jumping back on here in just a second. And I apologize for all of the technical difficulties this morning. This is our first Google Hangout together, so it's kind of fun. Okay, so just in case she doesn't pop back on, we will have the link to the replay. We will email that out to you, and we will also have it posted in Million Dollar Woman on Facebook. And we will also have the link for, here she comes. Hi!
I don't know what's happened. So sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that if you didn't pop back on, we were going to send out the replay, and that we were also going to post the links that they can look and check out Million Dollar Woman, the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have live stream options. So from anywhere in the world, you can join us. And if you can't join us on the day, and it's only $97 at the moment, it's on early bird discount. If you can't join us on the day, then you can watch it for a month after as well. So, you know, it's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
I'm super excited. That's
It's really, really fun. So, you know, if you're a woman in business or someone who thinks of going in business into business and you're not sure what could you do, you know, is it possible to make money? You know, even if you just want to get inspired, like my friend, she was just laid off from her job and she said, I just want to come and, you know, maybe I will pick up some inspiration, because there's something really powerful about being in this vortex of other women who are going for it, you know, going for it in their lives. Because, you know, when we're entrepreneurs, not, you know, our friends and our family, they don't always get us, do they? They don't always get what we do. And, you know, being mediocre is something that's encouraged in society. So when you kind of trying to create something bigger and better for yourself, it's not everyone's going to get it. So it's really great to create friendships with other women that you can talk this kind of talk with. I find it's really
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got the link and I'll pop it here, but I don't know if anyone's going to see it. But in any case, I'll pop it here, and also we will so you can either click on that link if you see the group chat. If not, then you know, we will email it to you. Janie will email you the link, and if you have any questions afterwards, you know, feel free to get in touch and we will try and answer. We'll do our best. Sorry again for that little technical difficulty.
Yes. And what is your link on Facebook if they would like to message you there?
So I'm Yael Rose, YAEL ROSE, and we have a Facebook page for Million Dollar Woman as well, and a group that they can join. And there's also an event. So all those things are on Facebook.
Yes. And if you would like to chat with me, you can find me at Conscious Creations 14 on Facebook. And that's CONSCIOUS and the number 14, 14.
Is that your group?
Conscious Creations is my business. So that'll bring them to my business page, and then they can go anywhere else from there.
And if they want to message you privately, then they need to find you as Janie Smith.
Yeah, Janie Smith. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope that, I don't know, is there anyone there still? Can you see if there's viewers?
There are 4 viewers.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so thank you for hanging out with us, and I hope that you were blessed by this, and do stay in touch. I hope to see you at some point. And thank you, Janie. It's been fun.
Yes, thank you, Yael.
Okay, hang us out.
All righty. Have an awesome day, everyone.